Hi everyone, and welcome to Totally Holistic Health, and my name is Julie, and today we're going to do a really nice yoga sequence for back pain, or if you've got a bit of a stiff back, just some really gentle stretches and some gentle twists just to help mobilise the spine, but also just to not overstretch it, but just obviously to try to keep that movement in the lower back or the upper back, depending on where the pain is. Okay, so really with this one, you really need to make sure that you are listening to what your body is telling you. If there's any pain at all, just pull back a little bit. Just stop whenever you feel you need to. Obviously, if you do need to take a rest, that's absolutely fine. Just really go at your own pace. But it's just a very few gentle moves just to help mobilise that spine, as I said earlier. So we're going to start off in a seated position, if that's comfortable for you. It's always quite nice just to put your hands on your knees, and again, just using that as to draw the shoulders down the back. So again, just have that lovely upright posture. And again, really what you're trying to do here is actually just engage in the core a little bit, just to give you that extra strength, and having a slightly stronger core actually really does help support the lower back as well. So that's really something to bear in mind if you do find that you're getting back pain, particularly in the lower back. Also, water is a really good thing to do as well, because the lower back pain tends to can sort of come from not drinking enough water as well. So I'm just going to take a few moments just to check into the breath, check into how we're feeling. Maybe just notice any sensations of tension anywhere in the shoulders maybe, or in the lower back. And if this is a little bit uncomfortable for you, you might find having a blanket underneath your bottom just to raise your bum up a little bit might be a little bit more comfortable. Okay, so it's going to take that time just to check into the breath. Okay, so it's really nice just to be able to mobilise the spine a little bit. So we're just going to do some very gentle movements in the spine. You can do it sort of sitting down, but you can also do it on all fours. So what we're going to do it in a seated position first of all. So bringing the hands actually on the knees. What we're going to do is we'll keep the arms straight. We're just going to curve the spine away. So really going to have a lovely dip into the tummy there. So again, just keeping, so you should feel a nice stretch across the shoulders in there. And then we're going to just bring the body forward, so really bringing the chest forward, we'll bring the arms to push you through a little bit more. So again, opening up that chest, just a little very gentle back bend in there. And then moving back again. And using the breath as well, so breathing in on the way forward. And out on the way back. So we're doing it really slowly, we're not going really very fast backwards and forwards, just really slowly. Seeing how that actually feels, and sometimes it's nice just to get a bit of mobilisation in there as well. Again, we're not curving the back too much again, because you might actually do more damage than good, so just being really mindful of how that feels. Brilliant. Okay, so I'm coming back to centre. What we're going to do now, we're going to do some very nice circles from the seated position. So really what you're trying to do is keep your hands on the hips again, on the knees again. So just do really nice circles around with the torso. It's more with the torso and the chest really, so just coming around. Trying to keep both buttock cheeks on the mat as well, so you're not overextending. Just coming forward. And then the other way. And then coming back to centre. Okay, so now we're going to come onto all fours. I know we've done cat-cow is quite a nice posture to do, because it's it does such a lot of stuff. And obviously if you have got issues with knees, you can use a blanket underneath your knees, or I always find it's quite nice just to fold your mat up, so you've got a little bit of extra padding there under those knees. So just to give you a little bit of extra safety. And again, just bringing your hands underneath your shoulders. Make sure your fingers are nicely widely spread, because what that will do, that will just help protect the wrists as well. And this is a really lovely supportive posture, because it's really nice. It gives you the freedom in your spine to be able to move around without being sort of encumbered at all. But again, really listen to what your body's telling you. So just be really, really careful on how that feels. So we're just going to drop the belly down towards the towards the floor. So again, just do as much as you want. I mean, don't overextend it. Just feel that movement in there, and that's all you might want to do. Just staying here. Or if you do want to extend it a little bit more, again, just do what feels right. And then arching away from the floor. So it's very similar to what we did in the seated posture. And again, just coming back down again, just to feel that mobilisation of the spine. And then do that a few times, whichever feels nice for you, and just coming back into a nice tabletop position. Maybe just moving the hips from side to side. Again, just really, really see how that feels for you. And maybe just do a few figure of 8s as well if that feels good. Really just sort of very nurturing, but it's also quite nice because it's sort of getting that movement back into the body that sometimes you sort of forget that you've actually got, because if you're in pain you tend to stop moving, but it's quite nice having the support of the mat just to give you that extra confidence, just to try things out and just keep moving. But again, just do what feels right for you. Okay, so now we're going to come back. Okay, so a really nice posture for the lower back as well is keeping the knees nice and wide. So we're going to come forward. So either bring your hands either side of your body. You can just either bring the forehead onto the floor. If you can't bring your forehead onto the floor, just maybe get your fists and just bring your head down there. And again, this is really nice. It's a lovely, very gentle stretch on that lower back. Really just, and using that breath as well. So don't overstretch, just seeing how that feels. It's usually a very gentle stretch on the lower back. And then very gently just coming back up, and that's a really nice restorative pose, just being on your sort of like coming forward as well. So it's really nice. It's actually quite nice if you've got like a nice cushion or a nice pillow as well, just to hug onto as well, because it's really nice, because again you've got that lovely support of your lower back. So we're going to come round now. We're going to bring the legs out in front of us. So we're going to do a really nice gentle twist. So again, make sure that you're moving the buttock cheeks out of the way. So we're going to have a nice upright posture. Again, we're using that core a little bit more as well. If you do have issues with the lower back really, really strongly, just bending the knees a little bit will help. So we're not going to put too much strain on that lower back. But again, if you can get the legs straight, again, whatever's easy for you. Okay, so keeping that lovely upright posture. I'm going to bend that left leg. We're going to pop the right leg just underneath it. And if this is comfortable for you, that's brilliant. So we're going to put the left hand onto that left thigh, shin, and then just twisting round to the right. Really gentle twist on the lower back, so just be really careful of how that feels. And obviously if you have got your legs straight, then it's going to feel slightly different. It's going to be a bit more of a twist like this. But again, just be really, really careful of how you're feeling. Just overstretch it. And then coming back to centre. So bringing both legs up. And again, seeing how that feels. So again, we're going to bring the left leg underneath that right, with that right leg slightly bent. Bring the right hand onto that right shin, and again, just twisting round to the left. And again, if you've got that leg straight, again, just more of a twist in this position. But again, be really gentle and kind. Wonderful, and I'm coming back to centre. So now I'm going to keep the knees bent, and we're just going to come onto our backs. And if you have got a lower back injury, laying on your back with knees bent is really, really lovely because it's called the constructive rest position. So it's really, really nice to have knees bent. It just takes any pressure off the lower back. Also, if you are struggling as well, and you if you're in your lounge or living room, what you can do is just hook your feet over an armchair and just lie in this position. It just really stops these spasms in the lower back. So what we're going to do now, we're going to bring the feet to the outside of the mat. So arms by your side, and very gently, we're just going to bring both legs or both knees over to the right. So it's almost like windscreen wipers. So again, really doesn't matter how far over you can go as far as you can. Again, it's a lovely stretch on the side body and into the legs. And engaging that core to come back to centre. And again, just coming over to the left. Be really careful of that stretch on the lower back. And then back to centre. And again, you can do it again if you want. Just moving backwards and forwards, side to side. And then coming back to centre. So we're going to bring our feet just hip width apart, probably as close to the bottom as comfortable for you. So we're going to bring the hands onto the mat next to us. So what we're going to do here, very gently, we're going to just tilt the pelvis, so the little gap underneath your back, we're going to push that down to the floor. So that just tilts the pelvis up a little bit, and then if that's fine, all you can do, that's absolutely fine. So you just do some nice pelvic tilts in this position. Again, you're still using that core to help build the core muscles. And if that feels okay, what you can do is just very gently just peel that lower back off the floor. So we're just going to put a little bit more coming off. Again, it doesn't matter how high up you go, if that's all you want to do, that's absolutely fine. And then we're going to come very gently back down again. And just do a few of these. Again, engaging that core, watching that lower back. The focus on this really is actually in your feet, so if you can focus on the feet and keeping the knees level, it sort of takes the emphasis off the lower back a little bit. Again, just do a few of these, see how that feels. And very gently coming back into the ground. So now we're going to bring the knees in towards the chest. Again, that just helps release the lower back a little bit. If you just want to rock from side to side, or you can put your hands on your knees and just do some nice circles with your knees, just to help massage that lower back. Wonderful. Okay, so we're going to bring the knees back, feet back onto the floor, so very careful coming up now. So normally just rolling to the side and very gently coming up to a seated position. So again, be really careful of your back. And we're going to come back into a lovely seated posture again. Using your hands on the floor just to make sure that you're pulling yourself nice and straight and nice and strong. And then just taking a few breaths. And just seeing how that feels. And again, if you just really want to move again from side to side, just to feel any nuances of any discomfort that you have left, and then just being aware of it again and trying to keep that core nicely engaged. So bringing that belly back to the spine, so really keeping that belly nice and strong just helps with the lower back pain. Wonderful. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste, and I hope that you've gained a little bit of knowledge and help in lower back or back pain at all today. So until next time, namaste. Take care.